There is a sentence that sounds simple, but it carries the weight of an entire life. I did my best. At first, it may sound like something people say when they fail, a consolation prize, a soft excuse, a way to make defeat easier to accept. But maybe we misunderstand it. Maybe I did my best is not a weak sentence. Maybe it is one of the few sentences that can protect a human being from regret. Because the truth is, most things are not fully in our control. You can prepare and still lose. You can love someone and still be abandoned. You can work hard and still be overlooked. You can make the right decision and still suffer. Life does not promise fair outcomes. That is one of the most painful truths. The world is not a machine that gives rewards according to effort. Good people fail. Lazy people sometimes win. Honest people are betrayed. Brilliant people are ignored. People with beautiful hearts suffer in silence. If we pretend otherwise, we are lying. And Nuvoroa should not be built on lies. So if outcomes are not fully in our control, what remains? Our attempt, our courage, our honesty, our willingness to move even when the destination is uncertain. There is a moment in many lives when the future is not visible. You want to change, but do not know if change will work. You want to begin, but you cannot see the whole road. You want to become someone else, but the old life still has its hands around you. And in the moment, most people wait. They wait for certainty. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until fear disappears. They wait until the path becomes clear. But life rarely gives that kind of permission. Most of the time, you only see a few feet ahead, like driving at night. The headlights do not show you the entire road. They only show you the next small distance. But that is enough. You drive those few feet and then the next few feet appear. This is how most meaningful lives are built, not through perfect clarity, through movement, through small acts repeated under uncertainty. One step, then another, then another. The person who waits to see the whole road may never leave. And this is one of the quiet ways people lose their life, not by dying, but by postponing themselves. They say, one day I will begin. One day I will speak honestly. One day I will change. One day I will create. One day I will leave. One day I will become who I am supposed to be. But one day can become a beautiful name for never. And then years pass. The dream does not disappear all at once. It rots slowly. At first, it feels alive. Then it becomes embarrassing. Then it becomes painful to think about. Then you avoid people who remind you of it. Then you tell yourself you are being realistic. But sometimes what we call realism is just fear wearing mature clothes. Realism is necessary. We should not lie to ourselves. Not every dream will work. Not every risk is wise. Not every desire deserves obedience. But fear can misuse realism. Fear says, do not try because you might fail. But life says, if you do not try, you have already failed in a quieter way. This is the difference between anxiety and regret. Anxiety comes when you move towards something uncertain. Regret comes when you never move at all. Anxiety is painful, but it is alive. Regret is heavier because it has no future. It looks backward. It asks, what would have happened if I had tried? And that question can haunt a person. This does not mean you should chase every fantasy. It means you should take seriously the dreams that keep returning, the ones that survive disappointment, the ones that still speak after years, the ones that frighten you because they ask for a braver version of yourself. Those dreams deserve an answer, not necessarily a reckless answer, but an honest answer. You do not have to quit your whole life tomorrow. You do not have to become dramatic. Sometimes courage begins very practically. A page written, a phone call made, a skill learned, a door opened, a small promise kept. The world often celebrates the final success, but the soul is shaped by the private attempt. The part no one sees. The night you almost gave up but continued. The morning you tried again without applause. The decision to stop betraying yourself in small ways. The quiet discipline of becoming someone you can respect. That is where meaning is built, not in the fantasy of victory, but in the dignity of effort. Because eventually, every life reaches a point where outcome is no longer the main question. The question question becomes, did I practice in my own life? Did I try to become what was asking to be born in me? Did I love while I had the chance? Did I create instead of only consume? Did I speak the truth when silence became self-betrayal? Did I do what I could with the time I had? This is not motivational. It is severe because time is not waiting. There is a clock inside the chest. Every heartbeat is a small countdown. We ignore this because we have to. If we thought about death every second, we could not function. But sometimes we need to remember not to become afraid, to become honest, because death does not only take life at the end. The awareness of death can give life shape before the end. It can ask, what are you doing with this brief fire? Who are you becoming while there is still time? What are you postponing that you already know matters? These questions may hurt, but not all pain is harmful. Some pain wakes us up. Some pain returns us to ourselves. Some pain says, you are not here forever. Stop living as if you are. And if that sounds harsh, maybe it should. Gentle lie may feel better, but it will not save us. We do not need to panic, but we should not sleepwalk either. The goal is not to guarantee success. That would be impossible. The goal is to live in such a way that when the outcome is uncertain, you can still say, I did not abandon myself. I tried. I gave what I had. I did my best. There is peace in that sentence. Not happiness exactly, not victory exactly, peace. The peace of knowing that even if the world did not reward you, you did not betray the life inside you. And maybe that is all a person can finally ask for. Not a painless life, not a perfect life, not a life where every dream comes true, but a life where before the light goes out, you can look back and say, I was afraid, but I moved. I was uncertain, but I began. I suffered, but I did not let suffering make me empty. I carried the rock, and when I could, I gave it meaning. Please put in the comments, what is something you would regret not trying?